house every day. How do I get my house? Yes. Over on the bar. So, where, anyone else I know here? Let's see.
No, just curious because I know they're going to connect with his family.
Wonderful. You look like Tiny Tim. You look like Tiny Tim. You look like Tiny Tim. Who's going to wear a hat? Tell me.
Thank you. Thank you for all your help. That was his favorite place of life. This is
That's Mary. I'm Mary. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Yes, my friend. What do you mean? Hi. What do you have, Mary?
They went to Vegas and then went to New York. Are you going to be right there on the
Wolfgang.
all the usual,
There's going to be music in a little bit.
I remember, unfortunately I met him later,
I know.
but, the couple years that I knew him, I had such a, every time I would see him, he was so animated, and he gave me these, and I told him, no, I don't want to give you these treasures, so finally,
One more.
Look at your orchids. Look at your
Okay, just say when. Hey, this is Lee Sklar, and I had the great joy of playing with Bugs back in the band Wolfgang in the late 60s. Just say when to start.
Okay, as soon as I get up to you. When?
Hi, it's Lee Sklar. I was so privileged to play with Bugs back in the days. We were in the band Wolfgang together, and he's one of my favorite drummers I ever played with. I still listen to the music that we recorded. I miss the man dearly, but we got together about a year ago, and it was great to see him again, and I'll see him again one of these days.
Thank you.
Cool.
There you are. Oh, that's his sister. That's no, is that Barbara?
So, what about Bugs?
What about Bugs? They broke the mold, and Bugs had the biggest heart in the world. The only thing bigger than his heart was his sense of humor. and I'm gonna miss him forever. God bless Bugs. So where's that guy?
Sorry, my God. The best paintings.
My granddaughter's here.
Yeah, you can show it. It's a video.
You're not too innocent. Hi, my name's Paul Reynolds. I knew Bugs from the early 80s. A real remarkable character. One of the sort of the guys you don't meet too often in a lifetime. Throughout our time we knew each other, he became like an uncle to my friends. There was times when I know he didn't really have barely a pot to piss in, and he would always turn up with birthday cards and a little present or some money for my kids. Truly a wonderful guy. Be very sorely missed, and it's a great tribute to him to see so many people here from so many different aspects of his life. And this is a great party, and Godspeed, Bugs.
Whoa, you take
it off yet? And he's got the pipe in the cuts. They said, you passed out the minute you got on this plane. Your snoring was so bad, we've had to refund all of it.
Yes, I am. I'm good today. I'm having a good day. Good. Good.
They match your nice blouse.
Thanks for inviting me. There's food and free drinks. Oh, hey.
He was going to build our treehouse, remember?
But he never got well enough.
Remember you said the treehouse? He said who's going to build a treehouse?
You can say something about it. Get up there. Hello. Come on, short and quick.
I would just like to say that I never heard anyone ever say a bad thing about Bugs.
Only Jeannie.
And I knew
that was Mr. Asshole.
and I never heard Bugs Mr. Asshole to me. And I never heard Bugs say a bad thing about anybody else. No.
Well, you know.
Except baby.
If you did get on Bugs's bad bits, 15 to 20 years you could get parole.
There was never
No, he could hold a grudge, I'll give him that.
There's people around the country, the world right now.
I know. Okay, so,
Hold the mic up.
you know, everyone's here to celebrate Bugs's life. Friends from obviously very different parts of his life too. We all know what a great guy he was. You know, he could be stubborn and cantankerous, but he had a heart. He had a heart the size of the Atlantic. You know, he was a wonderful, dear man, and I don't think any of us can really think of anyone who fought a more gallant battle against what he did. And he did it with amazing humour and amazing optimism. And I think, again, as we're all gathered here, we know that he was truly an inspiration to us all as to the way he fought.
Poster boy for positivity.
He certainly was. And you know, right down to the wire. You know, he maintained his humour. And I did have to just say something. For years, a friend of mine.
£5, right?
Well, a friend. There's some people here who know Brian McMillan. You know, he was a dear friend of mine. He was an animal trainer, and we got into this routine on Friday nights where me and him would meet down the Cat and Fiddle, and you know, early evening, and get toasted, and then you know, Brian would convince me that I was too drunk to drive, so we'd pile in his van. And as I say, he was an animal trainer, so there might be a cheetah or a leopard in the back. And it was always the same routine. At the time, I lived 2 hills over from Bugs. So around midnight, we'd be he'd be driving me home, and we'd always pass Bugsy's house. So, and Jeannie, but often Jeannie had gone to bed. So we'd you know, pile out and, you know, thump on Bugsy's door and come on then, you know. So, and we'd get in there and we'd rant and rave for, you know, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. And at some point, Bugs like, right, that's it, out, you know. And it's like, oh, come on, Bugs. Look, he bundled us out the door. And this routine went on for about 3 years, almost every Friday night. And when Bugs was really sick a couple of weeks ago, I jokingly would say, you know, well, you're not going to throw me out now, are you? You know, and he was like, you know, and I said, so Bugs, do I have the record? Did you throw me out more than anyone else? And he laughed and he thought for a minute and went, Lyle. This I just felt to you. Anyway, just one of the many anecdotes we know about toast. So we all join me in a toast to Godspeed to Bugs and God bless him. And all who knew him.
I don't have a drink. One final word. Everybody in this room. I think we're all here for a reason, and I think we were lucky and privileged to know Bugs. And there's one more word. Coffee!
Well, as everyone's here, Bugs once asked me about what might happen on this day, and I said, can I tell what to me was his greatest anecdote? So, if you'll bear with me just for a second. Bugs told me this story many times. Back in the day, in the early days of Liverpool, like 62, 61, 62, for whatever reason, the Undertakers decided to replace their original drummer. And whether it was Jackie or Chris Huston who gave Bugs the nod. Was it Yusuf?
The parrot.
Yes, the parrot. If it was, whoever it was gave Bugs the nod. So Bugs, his first professional gig, he's going to play drums for the Undertakers. In those days, the Liverpool fans were quite sort of, they were very determined in their support of their bands, and they didn't like the bands changing personnel. So, anyway, so Bugs gets on the bus. He has his kick pedal and his sticks, because in those days there wasn't roadies. Sorry, technicians. You know, you use the house kit. So tell you quickly. So Bugs arrives at the stage door, and there's a couple of like toughs, you know, hanging around, who were supporters of the previous drummer. So Liverpool being what it is, they get in a bit of a scrap, and these two of them, of course, Bugs is getting the worst of it, and he actually broke his pedal. In the middle of it, the back door opens, and an older guy comes out, and he chases off the two toughs. And Bugs is like a bit shook up, and he goes, are you alright, kid? He said, yeah, I'm alright, but they broke my pedal. He goes, look, I'm going on after you tonight, you can use my pedal. He goes, oh man, that's great, thanks. The older guy says, so what's your name? And Bugs said, well, my name's Warren, but everybody calls me Bugs. What's yours? And the older John says, well, my name's Richie, but everybody calls me Ringo. So how Bugs met the Beatles, you know? All right. Someone else?
Do you know the Gorilla Solo?
No, please, someone else.
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing about how Bugs learned to drum. Bugs learned to drum by listening to a Ray Charles album that apparently his father had listened to all along. So he snuck down into the back, to the basement, and he took his three-piece kit down there and he started to drum. And he kept drumming until he could learn the drum riffs on the Ray Charles album, but nobody told him that Ray Charles used two drummers. And then, when he went to play with the band for the first time, nobody told him he needed to anchor his drum kit. So he would hit the bass drum and it would move about a foot away. And then he would scooch his stool over the bass drum. And he said on his first gig, he moved his drum kit all the way across the stage, had to turn around and move it.
Wolfgang, Wolfgang!
Hey, I was fortunate enough. I met Buzz in 1965, and as fate may have it, he had come from the Undertakers, and we had a group called the Lost Souls, so it couldn't have been stranger than that. And I often think now that Jackie had passed away and Buzz passed away, how do you deal with it when you're going to the funeral? I mean, are you one of the Undertakers? No, I'm the Undertaker. But you mentioned earlier about Scrap. The Bugs got into Scrap in Hamburg one night, where he went with this girl, and it turned out to be a mafia guy's girlfriend. Yeah, and all of a sudden we couldn't find Bugs, and it turned out he was starting to get into a fight. And fortunately, some people from the Star Club, some of the bouncers there knew who he was and got him out of the fight. But that was the only Scrap I ever recall Bugs being into, you know. The other Scraps, I suppose, were mental. We took a lot of acid in New York. and
At the top of the Empire State Building.
Oh yes, well, that was when we started a lot. He went to the Empire State Building. In fact, I don't know if it's on this wall or not, but he has some drawings that he did. Yeah, that were based on little tiny things. You're looking down.
That's the one on YouTube.
Is that?
That's the one on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay. But if you get a chance, stay in touch with us. There's going to be a lot more pictures and stories and music. We have some music here today of a lot of the really great drum parts that Bugs did. And, you know, all I can say is what's already been said. It was,
That's my
to have known Bugs is it brought me up in life. And we've all done so much better from that.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're here, Bugs.
Here,
Okay.
Clear the way. Clear the way. Bugs is coming through. Here he is. Where's Gene?
Gene is on the phone. I get her.
You can't have
Buzz is in the house.
There he is.
Buzz is in the house.
He is in the house.
Speech, quiet, quiet. Hello. Hello, be quiet. Hello, quiet. Shut up. Okay, one more speech.
Bugs is awesome.
Good speech. The way we like it.
To the point.
Rubbish.
He wants one. He wants one on you.
Thank you, everybody. I want to say thank you, everybody, and we're opening the mic for other people.
Yeah. I lived across the street from Bugs for 16 years. LA is... I gotta say, I can think of a more fitting tribute to this larger-than-life man who couldn't have been a better neighbor. LA is the kind of place where people usually don't know their neighbors. But Bugs is somebody who makes sure that everybody is a friend that lives around me, right? And I try to take that with me in every neighborhood that I move into. Baxter Street will not be the same without Bugs. Cheers, Bugs.
Okay, what was his artwork?
I did this in 1967 after I drank a very large dose of LSD. And these are my outfit clothes.
Nice. I'll show them. I'll film it separately. I'll show it. Yeah. Okay.
What's your face?
Wait. I don't know what I'm looking at.
See the two eyes, the mouth, and the nose. There's an eye in all the building. I was hallucinating. I cried for 5 minutes. Luckily, I was a rock and roller.
Yeah, good thing.
Playing at the Star Club.
What was the name of your band again?
The Undertaker.
Did you open up for some big bands?
Yeah, I was lucky because a lot of big bands opened up for us.
Yeah. Did you play with the Beatles?
All the time. We used to know them when there was a Silver Beatles. We called that the Quarrymen.
Huh. Wow. Is that the scar from...
After they took the 7-pound tumor out of me.
Whoa.
Took 14 hours, 4 surgeons to cut it out.
7-pound tumor?
14 hours.
Jeez.
4 surgeons.
Wow, you...
And then half my liver as well at the same time. They didn't take out my liver. 5 times they said me.
Well, you're a real survivor.
Yeah. The first time, the guy, doctor said, "Oh, you got cataracts now." Oh, okay. So you're going to go in the hospital next day. Surgery right away. He said, "Go home and get your house in order." I was about 120 pounds. 6'2", I'm normally 180 pounds. This is the tumor they took off my chest. And I didn't even have a lump.
That was awesome. I loved him. I loved him so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jeannie will hook this. We gotta go.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
We'll
see you.
Wait.